Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different and checking out the newest season of X-Men 97. The first season was probably easily in my top 3 favorite Marvel projects we've ever gotten. Um it was just so incredible. I feel like it was a damn near a perfect adaptation of the X-Men. And the X-Men are one of my favorite teams, favorite comic book characters in general. Um I love the way the team dynamic is and how they interact with the world outside of themselves as well. Them and the Fantastic Four, I think, have the best team dynamics. And the first season of X-Men 97 really showcased that. They didn't stray away from like some of like the violence, but also like the drama and like soap opera-ness of X-Men. It was all really fun. Introduced me to I think a couple new characters that I didn't know previously because well, I'm a massive X-Men fan. I'm not like super like insane knowledgeable about it. I've watched like every movie we've gotten, every animated series, read a couple comics, and just know a lot of comic book lore and stuff. And I did watch season 1 on my own time, so I won't have reactions to that, but, if you're here to stick around for my season 2, watch along, I am more than happy to have you guys. This is one of the things I've been most anticipated for, so let's not waste too much more time, get right into this episode. If you are new to my channel, this is more of a watch along than a reaction, so if you'd like the audio and full video, you can sync up with your own copy of the episode. If not, you can see it blurred behind me and read subtitles below me to follow along with the episode. I'll just give us a countdown. 3, 2, 1, start. Should be good to go. Oh, I loved Nightcrawler. And yeah, I assume we're going to be focusing on Nathan and them. They showed that a bit in the trailers. Voice. I love how they also leaned into Nightcrawler and Rogue's relationship heavily. That's often underlooked. Really excited to see how they do everything in the future with Cable. I know a couple things from that timeline. But this show also does, like, honestly, decades of comics in, like, a couple episodes sometimes. Okay. Mother Ascani. And if I remember right, I believe that's Rachel. I could be wrong. Um, Young Cable. Oh, great previously. Oh, I assume we're also gonna get into one of the most banger OPs. Yeah, here we go. I guess not OP, but intro. I should also keep up. They constantly put new stuff in it in the first season. Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm. Oh, Storm with her classic haircut from the original 90 series. I kind of prefer the mohawk most times, to be honest, but I do like that design. Oh, they're using scenes from the first season now. Them leaving, them fighting. Oh, that shot of him pulling out all of the. Oh, and the focus on their relationship. Because I assume we were focusing on Forge getting her back as well. Apocalypse. Fun intro and everything. Still keeping Magneto versus Charles like teams facing off. I was wondering if we'd ever change that or not. Days of Future Past. Fun. Um yeah, we're kind of even the present day is kind of fucked right a little bit. Yeah. This time travel machine. Time machine. What I was looking. Future and past. See. Oh, so that's where Wolverine and them are. Apocalypse. And Apocalypse was in the '90s series, so I'm wondering how they're gonna showcase everything. That's light work for you, Forge. Parts that's what I was getting at, though. That was a little bit rushed in the first season. I would have preferred if we skipped the Mojo stuff and spent that entire time on Forge and Storm's relationship. It's in the face of time. Expand back to the '90s. That gave me such a big giggle the first time I heard it in the trailer. Go Forge. 1,000. And Smoke. Is that both of them coming here, or are they going to get separated in future past? Wasn't expecting Cable to show up and meet his younger. Oh, are these like Cyberhound? Oh, actually, I know seen these guys before. Thought they were upgrade Sentinels for a second, but Apocalypse. I love how we're also just going right into it. Like we had the recap at the start, but other than that, like we're fully sending it. Ooh, yeah, and Forge. We do know he was an army vet, and his mutant power allows him to create anything. Like I don't know, imagine anything, so he can create it. Not exactly like a combat veteran. Doesn't seem like a slouch though, to be honest. Oh, oh, Savage Wolverine. Breaking the claws on the metal. We're so used to him having invincible claws. Seeing him like break and shatter them as oh my stars and garters. Oh, he's actually a little bit less savage than I was expecting. I don't think they're going full on '90s comics where he gets like the ugly ass fucking feral face and what. Oh, I was not expecting them to reunite so quickly. Also, this design is I love this design for Rogue. That haircut's great, and the outfit itself reminds me of when she was like she was turned younger in the comics at one point, and it's like that. Yeah, I guess we don't exactly know how long Storm and Wolverine have been here since it's the future. So that OST, I think it was an ally. I'm pretty sure Cable's set future, like our Cable. I think in the comics it was like a set thing, like them going to the past is like Cable's past as well. Like he remembers them, he just didn't know it was his parents. They kind of hinted at it in season 1. Ooh. That is low-key horrifying. Is there just a building just stuffed with people? Oh, fuck his name. I I read. Oh, it's voice actors. New Vessel. I love his voice actor. Well, I for Oh, is there four right there? I don't think the four horsemen in the future include Gambit. Cool. Because we know Cable uses his telekinesis to hold back his techno-organic virus. That's why he generally doesn't use them. They're telling him. They were trying to tell him. Oh, it's fun. I wonder if because in one of the trailers we got to see fucking Morph turn into Thor, which is wild. Yeah, not really. That is true. If you are leaving, I'm very interested in what this conversation will be, especially if I am right and that is who I think it is. The fire powers lead to that as well. That is a good question. A prophecy has to come from somewhere. Like stopping the regeneration. Way that dialogue sounded. Are we gonna get an answer? God, the way they make her rotate is so cool. I'm so glad this. Good match. That is fair. They are a bit different, but oh god. Oh, are they gone? I thought for a second someone nabbed Nathan, but no, they're out of here already. That is a fair, but he's also a telepath. Okay, good thing you got distracted. Because I think Cable's still set on track to continue, but because I remember there is a comic where Nathan is raised by Jean and Scott in the future. Oh, these are the horsemen in the future. That was a strong ass attack that shattered Jean's barrier. Not happening. I do not know the name of all these characters, by the way. I feel like I recognize at least two of them. Yeah. Wolverine's still much prettier than he does when he went feral in the comics. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I love her reaction. Yeah. So they are referencing the old apocalypse stuff. This Wolverine's always ready for action. That's true. Wondering, both. Oh, interesting. I was thinking Storm's gonna control something, or Morph's gonna turn into someone. I was thinking maybe he could turn into someone like a speedster or something to get there quickly. I was right. I think Solar Storm. Yeah, we saw this in the trailers. Oh, they're really not holding them back, not nerfing Storm. Is not aware of her potential in her timeline. That we don't get to see. I would love to see a team led by Storm in an adaptation. And Yeah, but she isn't even from this timeline. She's the one, yeah, she's the one who, that's brutal that they were gonna die trying to protect that Sabanor. The choice to use a phoenix there is also very interesting. Have to lock in Storm. Oh, this is a cool travel system. It's almost like magnetic rails pulling it along the. Using the virus as a. That's always what he's been told. That's heartbreaking. Telling him. That's the that's the telepathic line that she sent with him as a baby. So he didn't have that memory until they just told him it again. Interesting. There's a reason Mr. Sinister wanted Cable. It's Nathan. That's really cool, though. I didn't know if that's the thing that's happening in the comics. I didn't know he could bypass inhibitor colors by using the virus. Clean with it. Also, these outfits Jean and God are wearing are so clean. I love the jackets. Oh yeah, large scale. Unrivaled telepath, huh? It's definitely who I think it is. I was unsure. I am almost 100% sure it is. Let's see this shit. Tempest. Dawn. Just super boosting. My goddess, awesome. Oh, and we're still getting Scott moving with his optic blast. So fucking clean. Okay, this is what broke it last time. Ozymandias. Okay, okay, that's. I recognized him. I couldn't think of his name. Arctic. Oh, there's the shot of Thor. Rose really turned into anyone. Oh, and that's the thing I was thinking of in the trailer, but he did it earlier too. Oh, and they're using the same effect they did last time with his eye. Most Cable shit ever brings just up uses his psychic powers just to grab a gun so he can start blasting. Hilarious. Oh, let Destiny lock is a fire dialogue line as you're plowing through a building. Oh, just him. Now I think this is where the problem arises. Unless this is a weakened, non-powered up Apocalypse right now as he's regenerating, but he looks pretty beefy. Do the same. Vulnerable. The 1990. Also another dialogue line in the trailer that gave me such a big laugh. Oh, he's just dipping out into... Okay, cool shit. I was just like, okay, just time traveling back to the past. That must be the version of Apocalypse we saw when he was picking up the death, or like the card. And he needs to make his new horseman now. Cool. I'm excited to see what the horsemen in the present time become. Assuming it's going to be Gambit's death. Earlier they were both helping out, but Dean helping him with his psychic powers, and then Scott helping him be a leader. Because I'm pretty sure in the present time he's gonna be the leader of a new team. I'm assuming X Factor. There's a couple other potential teams though. Everyone. Man, this is what I mean about team dynamic though. Like everyone is just such incredible characters. Are we gonna end here? We're running out of time in this episode. Oh, I think they used that shot in the trailer. Oh, interesting. What a good shot to the present. Yeah, that is the problem with people like him and um Hang the Conquer. Oh, Silac. British accent as well. An Archangel. I wonder if this is Betsy then. True, man. Oh, I was totally right. What a great way to have him learn in the past, teach him along, become the leader, and then cut to the present after everything's gone down and him recruiting his new team. I am so glad this show is not stepped down in quality at all. It's so fucking good. I wonder if we'll get new characters, power stuff for new people, if it will just be the classic X-Men. Because there was a lot of new characters in the trailers and whatnot. I'm really excited to see some of them as well. Oh, that was so great. Anyone in the comments down below, if you know the names of all of the horsemen that were working under Apocalypse, um, I'd love to know because I feel like I recognize at least two of the designs. I've probably seen them before in an Apocalypse comic because at least I've probably seen art of them. I might not have read that certain comic, but this show is also interesting because I'll know like a lot, but at the same time, it's hard because they piece together so many different storylines, so many different eras of X Men together. Um, that it can be hard to see what's coming next. Because like even in season one, everyone I feel like all of the theories online we were all talking about Magneto and then becoming Onslaught. Like we really thought Onslaught. Oh, sorry about that. We really thought Onslaught was gonna happen, and then they switched, and that wasn't actually what we focused on, and it was still so fucking incredible. So I'm really excited because I think Apocalypse is gonna be a big thing. I don't think it's just like Age of Apocalypse. They're telling a lot of different storylines. Um, yeah, that was really great. Since we're gonna be watching all 3 episodes in this video, I'm not gonna waste too much more time, and we're gonna go probably immediately into the second episode and then the third right after. Um, I could yap about this episode for probably fucking a couple hours, because man, I just fucking love X Men and having it back is so good, and I love the way they did everything with Nathan and, uh, Jean and Scott and everything. Um, and actually this Storm and Forge were really great in this episode, I loved that. Their dynamic is always was enjoyable, but as I said, a little bit rushed. The only thing I would change of season 1, I said, I loved the, Mojo episode, I couldn't think of his name for a second. I absolutely loved it, but at the same time, I maybe would have taken that out and just had that entire episode be about life death. The one thing I did enjoy all the references and it was a fun Jubilee episode, so I don't mind. And it led for the pacing of like the reveal after she was taken out for Magneto and Storm in that one episode. So it actually ended up working very well, but knowing how much focus. Although then if we didn't have that episode, we wouldn't have had everything with Roberto and Jubilee, which I also really enjoyed. So, you know what? I might not even change that. But it is good to see more of Forge and Storm getting to show off. I love that they're showing her power not just in fights and whatnot. She has had some really awesome moments. That was more about just like a sense of power and using it to help the mission of like powering up the ship and whatnot. It was just very cool, fun way to utilize powers, especially of an OP character like that, because it can be hard. And then everything, yeah, just so fun. I love how they're setting this up. But yeah, really excited. So let's not waste any time. Move on to the next episode. Three, two, one, start. Y'all synced up. Down on. These are the two that are in the present. So I assume we focus on. But yeah, great moment. That's why I like wouldn't want to get rid of that Mojo stuff. Oh, folks from Bastion as well. Alert. Yeah, man, him saving her really, really changed history. Those rebel leaders, though, that's what I was talking about. I'm pretty sure they're alluding to him having memories and the way they showcased him going from last episode into this episode seemed like he had some knowledge. So I think um Storm was right, and that was a step for Nathan becoming Cable. 1997. What neighborhood is this? What the Oh! Oh! Wing? And these are, is it Generation X? No, that might be the wrong team. Is that Multiple Man? Multiple Man was we've seen him in Genosha, though. Yeah, was kinda. I love that they're showing the younger teams as well. Oh, Havoc! Definitely the good. That was Cyclops' line from episode 1. It was Multiple Man. How long do you think until the government turns on them? I imagine not long. Oh God, Val, what are you doing? But yeah, X-Force seems to be on the government payroll at the moment. I don't think it'll be long until they switch around. But yeah, definitely the good guys, and then detains mutants is a little bit fucked up. Oh yeah, that'll be nice for him. And that is a bad future. Interesting that Jubilee and Roberto are these, because they were both kind of like the newbie characters. Jubilee was for the original series, and then Roberto was for Force. But yeah, so we are doing X Factor X Force as well. That's fun. I can't believe we're getting a whole opening for them. Sunspot. Oh, new fit for Sunspot. Psylocke. Archangel. This is really great as well, because this is one thing I think that movies and a lot of series haven't shown off properly, is there is so many different X-Men teams and different sides to the X-Men. And this is showing the like Black Ops undercover, the more like government-based X-Men. And then we got our main team in the future and past. Just very fun, very time. Well, yeah, I was just talking about if they were gonna change that. Also, is that Pixie? I could be wrong, but it looks like Pixie. But it doesn't look like the design we saw in Genosha. There's a lot of X-Men characters. Occasionally, I will get shit mixed up and whatnot. Fair enough. Oh, I love her effect when she uses her powers. Ooh, interesting. I was expecting for Archangel's voice. Yeah. Oh, you see. Oh God. I do like Sunspot's fit. The red eye fit, like eye band, is a bit much. X-Men's also so fun. There's so many telepaths and psychics, but the way they always have fight and have different power signatures is so fun. Good old teamwork. Fastball special with a very different team. Ooh, those moves. The thunderclap type attack is crazy. The fucking slash psionic. Oh, that's so cool. I'm so glad to see Psylocke on the team. I love both versions of her, but just got a very fascinating history. It- oh yeah, because we had everything with Warren in. Yeah, so this is following up a little bit on the stuff in the original show. Got her power signatures, just so cool. Also, if I remember right, Psylocke has to grab someone to do the telepath aspect of her powers. That was a coffin. Was that Gambit? I didn't notice any signatures if it was Gambit or not. He would know out of anyone. But I'm loving how even the different contrasts of teams and not holding back though. Setting the tone. And I wouldn't be surprised if this weighs a little bit more on Jubilee than it might on Roberto. Oh, diamonds, Emma Frost. What the fuck are you doing, Emma? Yep, that was did get her secondary mutation of the fits. Pitbull. Oh, interesting. I love Jubilee. Ew. That is true. I think she's gonna be a little bit convinced, but I wouldn't be surprised if she comes around eventually here. If I remember right, the comics, post Genosha's when she started her heel turn to be a hero. Switzerland thing. Hopefully not a trap or some sort. Sometimes you can really trust Emma Frost, sometimes you cannot. Usually depends who's writing her and what era of Emma Frost it is. Oh, upgraded it quite a bit since last time. That would actually make sense. Oh, yeah. Oh, actually I'm surprised she's working with X Factor. Her working with the government's a little bit surprising. Interesting. Trying to get outside the law a little bit. Seeing Polaris is awesome. He was in the original a little bit. I don't think that much though. Good block. Polaris versus Psylocke would be pretty fun. Oh. God, they made Havoc very handsome, I feel. He was slightly in the first season if I no, it was the wasn't Havoc, it was the other one. It's just fucking not exactly on her side of him, but I fucking love Emma Frost. Work. Polaris' reaction. Her power signature being green, similar to similar to Magneto, but a different color is fun. I like her voice. Oh, I would. Oh, taking him out was diabolical. I was gonna say he has probably less of a problem with killing. He's not gonna be a fan of that. Actually, she did. I mean, she a bit over her head with the killing, but kind of goes against. Also, I forget in the canon of this if Polaris is actually Magneto's daughter. Because I think she predates Wanda, but she was like a fake daughter originally, and her history's a bit. Yeah, I guess this is a lot for Jubilee. She was one of the last, like, active team members who got left behind. Aw, proud of me. Is Polaris gonna be the one that turns and helps us out? I can't imagine X Factor stays government side super long term. Oh! That's the they were in fucking Evolution, I'm pretty sure. Sand manipulator character, I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong. Aw. Yeah. Turn around that plane. Stand on business, Roberto, though. Yeah, I knew it. I have too much belief in my mutant characters. Not joining us, but letting us out. And we do actually know, despite them all, like characters always making a joke of her using fireworks and whatnot, affects stuff on a molecular, on like an atomic level. So her power is actually very strong. Oh, fun! The light lighting up the fight. Oh, in the armbar. Good shit. I wasn't sure how I felt about her outfit originally. It looks really good, especially with the boots and everything. God, just imagine the first time seeing Jubilee in the original show. Imagine her at this point. An X-Man through and through. Oh, we even have what's his name? He has his mutant power like puts his inside like he's inverted. A blob type character. God, Jubilee has had such a glow up in '97. The skating around the outside is amazing. The arm bars or the that's what the move she did in the video game in the first season. We've never seen her do that actually before. And oh, as the music also hits. Holy shit! I love that she has like a Destructo disc now. Oh, and the team coming in. I love the. I think it's Generation X's team. There's Pixie. Um, they're the ones we saw in Genosha. I love this that we're seeing them together. Oh, oh, Valid a fucking super suit is crazy. Just gonna jump, isn't she? Oh. Thing with the fireworks. Aw. I love the trust. Aw, cute as fuck. That's, I think, the most I've ever liked the two of them. That moment right there. Well, actually, I enjoyed the moment in the first. The first part. Um, their first kiss in the first scene is really good too. That was adorable. I think there's an element of Val that's true because she was um regretful of what happened in Genosha, but the way she's going about it is so wrong, and I feel like that's often her problem. Facts? True. What a good cut back to present or into the future. It's so funny. It's the future, but it's Cable's past. It's so fun. The way they're using time travel is really great so far. Oh, I'm a dumbass. I didn't even put together. That's the voice that was talking in when he was trying to save his Nosha. That's like a body slide. I won't lie, this is kind of not just sad because of that. Seeing, unless I'm just an absolute idiot, seeing Rachel watch that goodbye and never getting to have a moment like that is that is a moment where he was very strong. So he does know. I mean, he knew it was Jean was his mom. So it actually makes sense. Like when he first sees Jean, but he would know anyways, but it also doesn't look like we're getting that's kind of a sad. I would love for them to put like all of X Force, all of X Factor on the power list. I mean, because I personally know quite a bit of their powers. Not, I actually don't know the names of all of them, but I know like what their abilities and stuff are. But for the average fan, they're not really gonna know until like a someone tells them. I mean, a lot are very obvious, like multiple man makes multiple of himself. Um, you can very clearly tell that she has a similar-ish, like psychic power. I love the power signature though being similar to Magneto's, um, but just green instead. Because I love how this show represents Magneto's power. It's very simple but really effective. Ah, damn, that was a good episode. That I think even better than the first episode, which is crazy because I really enjoyed episode one. But the way like that sequence with Jubilee just popping off and getting to see not only like progress and like stuff evolve, but like seeing the past show have history. And as someone who has seen I grew up on the like, I was born in 2000, so I had watched, like, a lot of reruns, and I've watched the show fully a couple times in the past. Um, so, like, it was something that was all the way around when I was a kid and X-Men in general. So seeing, like, a character like Jubilee, which I think she, like, appears in, like, a cutscene or something in one of the movies, but seeing how much she's grown as a character in this show, not even just from season 1 of X-Men '97, but from the original series and, like, her first meeting and, like, the stuff in the mall with the Sentinels and everything is just so incredible. That whole sequence of her having, like, that action and the music in the background was just absolute cinema. I think maybe I also won't lie, I had my timer by 2 minutes too long. Uh, oops. Um, sorry about that. I guess it doesn't matter too much. We started at the same time. Oh, what a great episode. I'm absolutely loving this show. So cool seeing Polaris, though. She was in the original show, but she's a character that I've always enjoyed, but for as old as she is, like, I think she's, like, 60s, 70s, like, she's an old comic book character. I feel like she's not in a lot of stuff properly. So that was really fun, and a lot of, like, fun, little characters and, whatnot from, like, newer comic books, even, like, I think just some stuff from, like, the 2000s and whatnot, a lot of these, characters and teams. Um, yeah, I maybe saw Beacon here. Um, we saw the ones that we saw at the start of the episode, but quite a few characters actually. Um, anyone who knows any all the like references, like my true comic book fans that have like read every X Men comic, feel free to let me know like any reference for characters, anything. I would love to know, learn more about them and whatnot. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm very especially knowledgeable about the first season of X-Men '97. Like a lot of it's locked in my memory because I've watched it like fucking 10 plus times in 2 years it's been out. Um, so I'm gonna rewatch this so many times, and I would love to know like all the little details. Really surprising to me though. Well, not surprising that Emma Frost betrayed us and is working with someone else. I'm kind of surprised she's working with the government. I think they have her, unless I'm misremembering the original series, are shown it in last season, but I'm pretty sure the government has Emma Frost, like daughters slash clones, the Cuckoos or whatever. Said the same word twice. But yeah, however you pronounce that, I'm pretty sure they have there. So maybe that could be a bargaining chip that she's working with government for. Um, or it really is just about like optics and money and whatnot. Never really know with Emma Frost, but I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere in the future of this season we do get a her turning to the good side. Because that tend to be Emma Frost. I forget what decade of comic books is when she turned good. I think it was post Genosha, the Massacre of Genosha. They the heel turn because that was like it was also like when her students were murdered and everything. She was like a it was Hellions were her students. Could be wrong. I might be mixing up the teams and whatnot. But she was like a rival school essentially, until her students were taken out, and then she essentially turned to the X-Men. But she's a character I really love, even when she's like on the more antagonistic side. It's really fun. Like she's kind of just a bitch, and I love it. Um, her dialogue in the first season about um uh, she was just trolling. I think it was Val. She was said something about, like, is it her dress or something like that. But she was just trash talking her. It's so hilarious. Also, I loved everything with the different teams, showing the different like versions of the teams and how they operate differently and interact with like the world around them and like the government and things like that. I think Psylocke is so much fun. More of Cable and his backstory and tying that in, and then yeah, just all of these characters were so fun. I love that also the one that turned and gained a bit more of a conscious was Polaris because she's the character I love. So it's good to see her essentially on our side. And then all of that combat with Jubilee was just top notch. But other than that, I don't waste too much more time. Get right into episode 3. 3, 2, 1, start. Hi. right into this episode? Or are we back to the present? Or are we going to the past? I would assume we're skipping to our other team now. We haven't really seen them yet. Where and when? Yeah. Looks like we're going with this team, which is actually insane amount of some of my favorite characters in X-Men. We have Rogue, Nightcrawler, Magneto, all some of my favorites. I enjoy Beast and Charles a lot, but they're not top tier characters for me. And Sabanur. I was kind of surprised how many people didn't know who that was at the end of season 1. I feel like after the post credit scene and everything, you maybe get a little bit closer of a look, but I wonder if this is going to be about preventing him from turning evil rather than just fighting with him in a conflict. Because if I remember right, I think it was the Krakoan era in the comic books kind of recontextualized Apocalypse backstory where he rather than just being kind of like a villain and a little bit more one note, it added a lot more depth to his character. Um and kind of some more history to him. So I wonder if we'll touch on a lot of that. I uh I have not read all of the Krakoan era comic books, but I know a fair amount of lore and stuff about that era, so it's honestly crazy. I think we might get to Krakoa in like a season or two at this rate. The way that it's fascinating me how much ground we cover in this show of like history of comics. It makes it nice though. You're able to like choose what to keep, what to remove. Yeah, that's true. Because if they don't succeed, it's all for nothing. Thousand Beast. I kind of love this design for Apocalypse too, by the way. Ooh. Oh yeah, forget that sometimes because I feel like that's been retconned at points in time, but he is supposed to be the first mutant. Oh God. I really love this, but this has scared me a little bit too. Um, I do think Magneto could lead him in a more proper direction at this point in time, but Magneto could also introduce some scary ideas to Apocalypse and Stormer. Is that who I think it is, by the way? I feel like I'm used to his design being slightly different, but this seems like him. Especially with the more sci-fi elements as well. Dude, some of these shots are really great. Also, the way they're lighting in this show is awesome. Sandstormers. It is Rama-Tut. Okay. Okay, I did that's who I thought it was. I thought I might be an idiot, but no. Thing. Is this with the X-Men still, or is this are we back in time a little bit? Still having a bit of a difference opinion? That is true. Genre, yeah, it's definitely it's not Apocalypse yet. That's also the other hilarious line of dialogue from the trailer. I'm worried maybe Charles is gonna be the reason we got um yeah, maybe Charles will be the reason he turns to Apocalypse. But also, I there's comic. I think it's the Apocalypse stuff is like a world without Charles Xavier. Um, I don't picture him being taken out of the picture. This is building up to the ideology of Apocalypse still, though, and this is bringing back. I feel like a little bit of the conflict between Magneto and Charles. Oh, they're like my they're underground. Oh, they're not actually that ridiculously strong. I mean, a Horus step is pretty strong. Yeah, he's able to cut them. Oh, that's a lot of them though. The eyes on Apocalypse there. I think you're in for a rude awakening. Oh, the like Egyptian music's cool. Fuck yeah. Oh, the barehanded combat. Just tanking that shit. Dude, I think you're a bit outclassed. Just that strength is crazy. No wonder you can easily cut through them. Impressive. Fucking toss that shit. Magneto is so pleased with them too. What a his opposing shadow through the clouds being his future apocalypse design and then clearing 2B and Sabanur is so fucking cool. Too. Not gonna kill him is oh Slaving him, isn't he? Sure. This is just so fascinating to me. Seeing Magneto and Apocalypse like together, almost like buddy buddy. Uh, I also, I'm sure they smelt you though, my buddy. A sulfur popping out out of nowhere is pretty. Well, I imagine this probably doesn't work, or it's gonna work and then it's gonna lead to Apocalypse and fucking Rama-Tut getting time travel. No, not enough juice. Oh, okay, chill out, Beast. Yeah, good. I am. From what I know of comic, I don't think it's ever been adapted before. But what I know about comic book Beast is, I was kind of scared what they're gonna do with his direction in this show. It's also very interesting to me how aggressive Charles is against it, even though, um, like he gave Magneto back control of the X-Men, and like the whole conversation when he was taking over in the second episode was like, um, Magneto like giving them another chance and whatnot would be what Charles would do. But now facing that, it's honestly not what he's actually doing. Let's just nip it at the bud. I feel like I trust Magneto so much now after everything we've been through in the first season, but I'm scared what's gonna happen with this. That's what I was talking about. Also, maybe changing what his goals would be if he gets. Despite being like from a different era, so he has different values. I don't think N7 era is like a. I don't think he's actually like a villain, right? Yeah, because I don't know how long in the timeline it took before he found more mutants. Not interested in gentle, and you wouldn't have a city. different outlook. That's interesting though, because Magneto at one point was kind of trying to do that, forcing like another extinction event. Save it, yeah. His voice actor sounds familiar, by the way. Cannot place it at all though. That is a dangerous game, Magneto. But yeah, that is essentially getting rid of a lot of lives. And even if some people were born again into this new timeline, they would never live the same life. But I'm not going to be surprised if we end this season with a big shift in the timeline. I think I remember the studio or something mentioning that they wanted to start somewhat fresh-ish after this. I'm worried we're gonna truly end up in like the age of apocalypse. Oh, oh God! Adding more bitch. Thank God Magneto's there. That was is it the ship? Okay, so this is yeah, but this is also what turns Rama-Tut into I think of his name. Um I'll think about it in a bit. Oh, and then last episode focusing on like mind reading and stuff, and now actually Charles doing it. Although Charles in his he's a lot more gray than he leads on and preaches to his students. This is a cool way to showcase taking the information though. Oh, this is like episode 1 with Bean. Jesus, I love how ins God. Oh, wow, he was, like, burning up. Very much like the first episode with Gene. Yeah, grand defensive of that dialogue. I love seeing Magneto with so much hope and, like, optimism, but I don't think things are gonna go that smoothly. Fuck. And here we go with Apocalypse. Well, not how I thought it was gonna play out. I thought we were going to, beat the Oh! Bishop's here. Oh god. Tracker. Oh, he's watching from over here. Fuck. I'm actually surprised they're using, him, considering everything that happened, and they've, like, took everything out of the MCU involving him. Conqueror? He going Oh, he's activating his shit as well. Are we all about to meet in present day or something? Oh god, I think we made it worse. Oh, what's about to happen? I'm gonna try and take out thinks he succeeded. Are we ending there? Fuck. I imagine either Apocalypse got taken out or no one got taken out there. I don't imagine we actually lost anyone in that explosion, but I imagine it'll have consequences of some sort. I am fucking loving this season. And I think we have a three-part now. Like we had this episode, I think there's a part 2 and 3 of like the Age of Apocalypse section, which I'm really excited for. I'm excited how they're tying all of these different plot lines together. And while there is some elements I feel like I recognize, kind of know about, there is a lot with just how they mix and match stuff in this show that there's a lot of surprises constantly for me. I love the way they parallel not even parallel, but just had, like, Magneto and Apocalypse together in a lot of this episode, and Magneto trying to essentially bring about a much more tolerable world to mutants. Um, and rather from working from where he's at, trying to like nip it at the bud and start from the first mutant ever that is ever born. Just a really cool concept. That episode was fantastic. I think my favorite episodes might be episode 2, 1, 3. There was some elements in 3 I really loved, but I think there was just, like, some heights in episode 1 and 2 that were really high, and I think that's because these are gonna be a 3-part, so, like, well, we got some awesome stuff and peaked, like, moments that did, like, peak in this. It wasn't like, I think this is gonna be a more, like, multi-episode story, so, like, we'll learn more about what's going on, and we kinda left off on a cliffhanger, so it leaves it a little bit less so than the last episode, but I'm excited to see how this storyline goes because the actual plot in this episode was so fascinating, everything. All the characters they're introducing, and I was wondering how they're gonna handle, like, all the different timelines and everything. So far, super well done, and I think probably by the end of this, like, three-parter, we'll be caught up to, like, the present day, I imagine, with all of the characters, or at least different groups, more present day working. So cool getting to see this version of Apocalypse too and his younger self and trying to hold him. I wonder if maybe we do come to a more peaceful solution in Magneto and Apocalypse, or hopefully this doesn't force Magneto down a darker path as well, trying to do. But the conflict that's going on between Magneto and Charles and their different views is always so cool, especially now that Magneto's very much followed in Charles' steps in a lot of ways, but he said still, like, we're not the same person. Like, no one can be Charles Xavier except Charles Xavier. I feel like that's an important aspect. A lot of like build up moments in this episode though, and just like I can't believe how good this show is. It makes me so happy because with like we lost like some people working on the show and just like how quickly this there was like a gap in between season 1 and 2, but like this came out not like insanely long after. I was worried the drop in quality between season 1 and 2 was gonna happen, but I think they've lived up very high quality. Some moments are so like beautifully animated. I love the animation style that they use. It's like a blend of like 3D and 2D. It's like almost like 3D with like a 2D like paint over it. It's really cool. I always love it. I do think some moments look a little bit more like stiff than maybe season 1 did, but I also like, even though I've watched season 1 a ton of times, you kind of, like, get, nostalgia or just, like, a blinder of, like, all of the hype moments, so I'm sure it's much more similar than I'm giving it credit for. Um, but yeah, like, all of the plot and everything is so cool. I'm really excited to see where we pick off and how exactly, Rama-Tut versus, like, Apocalypse is gonna go and how we get back to the present and, um how we build everything up. I love how even though we're very spread out, different teams, different things happening, and like all three of these episodes were wildly different, it does feel like an overarching building story. And having Apocalypse in three different timelines really makes him feel like an overarching villain threat, which is really cool. Um, this is honestly kind of what we needed with the MCU if they were going to go down the line of why can't I Rama-Tut, like, his actual character name. I don't know why I can't think of it right now. It's actually kind of annoying me. I will think of it, like, the moment, or I'll look up and then I'll remember immediately after this episode, but, that's very fascinating as well, and I love it's funny, I'm usually not a big sci-fi guy, like, I tend to be more fantasy-oriented, but I love the way X-Men always does sci-fi, especially this sci-fi mixed with, like, the past in Egypt. Is really fun and, like, always, like there was kind of some mention of, like, cosmic and space stuff in these episodes, but also X-Men and space is always really fun, um, and I like that X-Men '97 embraces all aspects of X-Men. It embraces, like, the soap opera element of these characters, the drama, the cool powers, team-ups that's possible, the actual, like, um how like the mutants interact with the world and like the conflict they face and oppression that they also see, and also like cutting back into the past in like ancient Egypt and focusing on it back in the day is also really fun and a cool concept because like even though essentially Apocalypse is like the main only mutant at this time, they're still like slaves and whatnot, and he was like born into slavery. I feel like it makes for a really cool story for mutants. Um, yeah, all the other episodes as well, like really great. There was not a single moment in these episodes I didn't love, especially just like the way everything was built back and built off of not just the original series, but the first season. Like everything with Val and the X Factor, which I liked also Polaris turning against her, and that was really sweet. Also Jubilee and Roberto were really great in this episode. I don't love Roberto's eye band, but his actual outfit and like the um like orange and whatnot that he has on it looks really good actually. Really cool. And I love that this show doesn't stray away from the very comic booky designs. Often actually makes it so even someone like me who doesn't know like every X-Men character can recognize a lot of the characters just based off their visuals because this show, well, it does alter them sometimes and like they change outfits a little bit. It largely is like super comic accurate. All of the outfits and stuff in this season as well have been amazing. I love the different fits, and like the different team outfits. I love that the like X Force team and like Jubilee's outfit and everything. It's a lot more tactical in a way. It's really cool. Um, the only thing I'm not 100% sold on, and it's something that just sometimes it's just hard to showcase in animation, which is funny because his doesn't look out of place, but Magneto's beard looks a little bit off to me. Um, Almost looks like a fake beard. I like the decision to age him up though, because like first of all, this Magneto design with like long locks. I'm already a fan of long hair on characters in the first place, but he has some like luscious ass locks. I feel like if the beard was a little bit better drawn on, and animated, I feel like I would really love it because I love when characters actually get to age up. Because Magneto's been like the same age or they've been explaining why he's not like an old man for so long in the comics. It's actually fun to see them age because that's one thing that this show also, because it's like taking so much previous history and like recontextualizing and whatnot, it's able to actually have like progress and characters develop and change, and the status quo doesn't just stay the same. Which is honestly usually my biggest complaint about comic book media is they live by the status quo. It almost always comes back and ruins a lot of stories. Sometimes it is because like there's a change from a writer or something that like most people don't like or just wasn't that well done. Um but when comics can just be like wiped away all of a sudden, it kind of sucks. So I like that this show is embracing its own history and creating new history and letting these characters age and change and develop, especially like with Cable and like Jean and all of them. Really fun. I hope if we touch back more on Emma Frost, because she was only a cameo in season one, so I don't know how much she'll be in this season. I hope we get to see at least some point in the future her turning more good and becoming an X-Men. Um, yeah, other than that, not much to say other than just absolutely incredible. I will be here every week when this comes out. A little bit later than some other reactions because it came out at like 4 last night or something crazy. So it took me a little bit to get around to it, but absolutely enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys all later. Peace.